to the Isn't That Rich podcast. I'm your host, Jill Franks, and I'm joined by my two favorite co-hosts, Ashley McVicker and Jared Gravatt.
And I'm her favorite.
No, I'm her favorite.
Okay.
You're both my favorites. So what are we talking about today, you guys?
Saving money, hot topic.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about 5 different ways you can save money. And they're going to be fun and creative. And I think people are looking for that. I think that saving money can be hard, and I think it sounds boring, but if you kind of get a rhythm with it and have something to look forward to, it makes it a little bit easier.
And I love that these are 5 saving challenges too. I don't know about you guys. Well, actually, I know about you guys. You're both as competitive as I am. So if there's a challenge involved, I'm going to try to win. And so that will encourage me to start saving more money.
And I also think I'm better at saving money than both of you.
You are.
No, you are, for sure.
For sure you
But
are.
I will admit, personally, if you give me a goal or a challenge, I'm going to be way more efficient doing that than just doing it.
Mm-hmm. For the sake of saving.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's what we talked about the other day. I'm like, what is the point of, not what's the point of saving money, but like, why do you do it? Like, you have to have a goal attached to it, or it's just kind of like, why not spend this money, essentially?
Yeah, I need motivation. Give me a reason why, and I'll do it all day.
Is it a vacation? Are you saving for an emergency fund?
Yeah.
You saving to get out of debt? Like, what is it? You got to have your goal.
That new house, your kids, maybe someday, your future kids, whatever it is.
And I know with savings, like when you start doing it, it's always super tough and it feels like nothing's really happening. But then once you like reach your goal, you're like, I'm so glad I did that.
I am too. Yeah. I feel the same way. So let's talk about the first one. What is our first savings challenge?
So the first one is the $5 bill challenge.
And I've not heard about this.
I have.
Today.
I have heard of the $5 bill challenge. So for a year, you basically, anytime you get a $5 bill, and I know people are kind of low on cash. They don't do cash a lot, but I love cash.
Yeah.
So anytime you get a $5 bill, you always save the $5 bill. And then at the end of the year, you just basically look at your pile and see how much you have. And that's the challenge. So you don't use them as tips. You don't keep, like, you put them in a different pile. And I used to work with a lady that did this, and she would pay for a vacation every year doing the $5 challenge.
You're kidding
So
me.
it's true. It's true. And she'd go on like a decent vacation. I was like, wow.
That's interesting because I guess I don't even pay that close attention to denominations of bills when I get them as change. But now, I mean, you could do it with any denomination. You could do a 5 or a 10. If you saved every single $10 bill you got.
Yeah.
Like it would really start to add up.
Yeah. I think the best people that would benefit from this would be people that get tips.
Ooh.
Because, I just get direct deposit. Like I don't have tips at the bank. I think that's honestly illegal. I don't think we can even accept tips, but I guess the only way we could save money is if it's like you're saying you paid with cash, you got change, take your 5, get it back. But if you're someone that works for tips, this could be a really great saving challenge for you.
And I usually keep my $5 bills if I get them because they are great for tips.
They're so easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the
I just
$5 bill one.
never carry cash. So this wouldn't be a good one for me.
Yeah, probably not your
But
challenge.
I think if I was going to do it, I'd maybe need to do like $10 instead of $5, just so it adds up a little bit
Yeah,
quicker,
you can do different.
because I rarely carry cash. But that's a good one for someone that carries a lot of cash. I think.
Yeah, definitely. Tom Franks could do well with this. It's so funny. He doesn't have a debit card. He would rather have,
Oh, wow.
only keep a small amount of cash on and only pay cash for things.
I like cash.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the $5 challenge.
Okay.
Cool.
What's the next one?
Cute one. The next one's going to be the 52-week savings challenge, which is a really popular one. I think this one's always trending, especially like in the new year. It's perfect if you like structure and kind of seeing your progress build. So basically how it works is you print a tracker, find a 52-week savings chart online. I actually have found a ton like on Pinterest. Like that's a really good one, and they make it fun. So, and there's different ones you can kind of pick, but find one that you feel like works for you. So you can either so the way that works, you can start small. You save $1 in week 1, $2 in week 2, $3 week 3, and then it goes on. But you could also do it reversed. So you could start with $52 that first week and go
150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can put the savings in a jar, envelope, bank account. Like for someone like me, I'd rather do it through like my bank account and do it in like an actual savings account.
And then just transfer it every week.
Yep.
That makes sense.
I do too, because I feel like if you're just doing cash, like we talk about this all the time. Like, why would you not take advantage of any kind of interest in an account?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, have your money do a little bit of work for you while you're waiting it out.
Right.
And like you said, you could go reverse.
You could reverse
Like
it.
do 52, 51. I think if I were to do this challenge, that's the way I would do it.
Yeah,
I want to
feel
start
better.
because when it's time for Christmas and the end of the year, I'm like, oh, that $1 doesn't feel so hard. And
Right.
then maybe I have some Christmas money
Yeah.
or something after the holidays. So,
But if you do this, you actually end up saving $1,378.
that
That's
would
a
be
lot.
perfect at the end of the year.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect for
Or-
Christmas and it's perfect for a vacation.
Or you could say, you know, if you really like don't want to be like intentional with doing it, you could like our app, like we have like an automated transfer. You could take that number, divide it by 52, and then have that amount transferred into your account. That way you're not even thinking about it, but then you're like, oh wow, by the end of the year, I now have this much saved.
That's smart too. I didn't think about that. So you could actually just set up direct deposit to transfer to your savings.
That way you're not
every
even
week.
like thinking about it, but it would be like you could do like a set amount. So you
Yeah.
just divide it by 52 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a easy, fun one anybody could do.
Yeah.
I'm like you, I'd probably start with 52 and then
Go
I know.
with reverse.
But, and here's my idea behind that. I think if I was like, oh, you know, if you maybe got down to like $20 and you were like, this just isn't that bad. I think I could like, I think it would motivate you to probably save more than just dropping down your funds every week.
I agree.
But you can still do it
Right.
and save quite a bit of money.
I mean, it's kind of crazy though. Like the last week is $52. Like
Yeah, that's
that
not.
doesn't
that
seem
much, yeah.
right. So you could definitely save a lot more if you're like disciplined with
Intentional,
it. It's
yeah.
just like what? Start with $1 a week.
Yeah.
That's
Get yourself a sticker chart and just.
I think it's kind of cool too because it teaches consistency in transferring that money. Like,
Yeah.
that's the key to saving is being consistent in it. And over time, you don't even realize you're doing it. So,
Yeah.
being consistent. Is
Yeah,
important.
go on Pinterest. Look for a really fun board you can print out and
There's a million
use
of them.
that. Yeah, there's
I think
tons
we've
of
even
them.
posted
So
things like
fun.
on our
Yeah.
social media. We
Yeah.
do little spending challenges.
I love it because then you can. I'm a big person on like the physical sticker chart or filling in a chart because then I can see the progress. I love a list. I love a good checkbox, like check it
Same.
off my list. So the visuality of a chart like that
And
is.
if you're behind, you can try to catch up.
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
which is
Gotcha. Come on. Little back pay.
I love it. So the next one is the no spend challenge.
Yes.
And that's pretty obvious. You just pick a time period. And maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, and you don't spend money on the unnecessary spending. So, I mean, you have your like essentials, like your home, your electricity, your taxes, all those things obviously don't count in this no spend challenge. It's the extra stuff. Like if you're buying, like maybe you don't need a haircut for this amount of time, or you don't need that lipstick, Ashley, and those kind of things that aren't essential.
Is that a dig, Jill? This is my Christmas lipstick.
I love it. But yeah, the no spend challenge is very self-explanatory. Have you guys ever done this before, a no spend challenge?
No.
I don't know.
I think I
It
could
sounds
do
very
that though
difficult.
too. I think I could do non-essentials.
Yeah.
Wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, especially if it's a short period of time. Like I could go a month without spending something.
A month?
Well, on unnecessary. On the
That's like
unnecessary.
the max.
Yeah.
Well, you would be surprised how much just, you know, not spending. I know that sounds so silly and simple,
Yeah.
but you would be surprised if you just like chill out,
Yes.
how your bank account kind of bumps up a little bit. Like you just don't realize when you're blowing money half the time. Here's the deal. Like I'll go to Target. I say this all the time. And like one week I'm like, oh, it's just $100. But then the next week it's $100. And then if
Yeah.
I go another week, it's $100. Well, then I've spent $300, but it just feels like different because it's a different week. I'm like, I'm in a
Right.
different time zone.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, you know what's funny too is I have done something similar to this before, is where I go to put something in my cart but don't actually push purchase, like when I'm online shopping.
Oh, yeah, I do that
And then at
too.
the end of the month, I go to like those websites and see how much I would have spent and then total it up. And it's like, well, that is how much I saved that month. And then transfer it into your savings account
Yeah.
rather than purchase those items. So it feels bigger if you add up all of those sites.
Do you know what online shopping does to me? If I put it in my cart and I don't buy it, it makes me feel like I've spent that money. So then I chill out the rest of the month. Like just putting it in the cart kind of does something for me.
It does. It has the same dopamine hit.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy this. Like I get myself worked. I really do. And then I'm like, wow, I have all this money because I didn't spend it on like H&M.
I have to tell you guys this story because I think it's so
Super
funny.
weird.
So Tom and I share an Amazon account. And for a while, it was before you could divide up and say, okay, this is Jill's Amazon under the same account. And it was Tom. Well, so we were all under Tom. And I would put things in the cart with the intention of maybe, or just, I wanted to come back to that item.
Yeah.
I found a cool thing and I might purchase it in the future. Well, Tom would put something in the cart, not knowing my things were in the cart. And all of a sudden he's like, what the heck, Jill Franks? Why are you what did you sneak into the cart? Like, no, I was just trying to come back to that. But then all these
you're the one that ordered it.
You ordered it without checking your cart, Tom. It's your fault. But then all those things I had. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. It was like, you're being sneaky putting things in the cart. But
I will put a lot of things in my Amazon cart.
Yeah, and save it.
That. Yeah, but it doesn't give me a dopamine hit. I'm like, I need it.
It's not like full blown when, you get it at your door and you get it delivered, but it'll chill you out.
Yeah. Anyway, I think
Take the edge off.
it's cool to see.
that
I always have a list in my notes app of the things that I would have purchased and then add that up. And that is more of a dopamine hit to me, being like, oh, that's all the money. It's like free money. Like you always say, Ashley, it's free money you would have spent otherwise. So,
okay. So the next one is going to be the Roundup challenge. So this is one that I actually did that I really liked. I did it just this past year. I used an app called Acorns, and basically you can connect your cards and, basically any dollar that you spend, like let's say you spend 75 cents, it's going to round up and it's going to take that other change and put it into like an account. So Acorns actually it's almost like investing. So you can kind of earn interest off of it, which is nice. But there's other ones. There's Capital. I think there's a couple others as well that you can look up online. But that's kind of a cool one, is just rounding up, because you're just spending your money and you're not really thinking about it. But I ended up having $500 since I had
Yeah, you didn't
downloaded
even
the
know you did
app.
it.
And I didn't know because I just checked it up and I was like, oh my gosh, there's $500 in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. And so my cousin actually was the one that told us about it when we did the financial literacy thing. She does it because she'll do a vacation at the end of the year. So that's a really cool one. I highly recommend that. I think for me, anything that just kind of is automated where I'm not thinking about it, I appreciate, because I don't miss that 23 cents.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have to ask you this. So did you hook up all your debit cards and credit cards so every time you purchased it, or was it just when you did debit card purchases?
yeah, I think you can link multiple cards.
Okay.
I think I just had one card.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Do
awesome.
you see it come out of your bank account? If it
don't
rounded
think
up
so.
to 23 cents, does it pull it from your account? You know what I'm saying? Or does it, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
It pulled the money
It's
over
with it,
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just think
That's
it's a
a cool
good
one.
way to save.
it's a great way to save.
Automatic, like you said, it
Yeah.
happens automatically.
And you earn interest. So you could do high risk or whatever. You can kind of pick. But I think I ended up making, it wasn't a lot off of the interest from it, but
But heck, it's more than nothing.
it's more than nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
And you forgot about it, I think. That's the night you were like, oh, I didn't even know. That's the best. It's
was in Ashley's office.
finding a $20 bill
I
in
was
your
like,
pocket
oh
that you haven't worn in a while.
but it was $500.
Exactly like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't miss that pocket change. You just really don't.
Never.
Have you ever gone through your purses and found like
is ridiculous. So we have this big change jar that we keep in our house, and Tom he usually pays in cash, and so he'll have a lot of change at the end of the day, and he just keeps putting money in there. I don't use a ton of cash, but I'll go through my purse and my car. My car is like a black hole for change. That middle console. I'm like,
oh yeah, mine is too.
I think I went through and there's like $15 not long ago when I cleaned up my car.
Oh, wow.
Just
like,
like change sitting in there.
I had $35 that I gave to the tellers. I was like, can you guys count all this change that I found? And I had it like in my work drawer, like my desk drawer.
Yeah.
$35.
Speaking of change, yeah.
That's a lot.
No kidding.
Yeah. But I feel like I never have change because I never
pay in
cash.
But that's the Acorns app is an awesome way to.
It's a great way to do that. For people who don't
use cash.
Yeah. I highly recommend it. I liked it. It's pretty user friendly, and it shows like a graph of like different things too. And you can also, kind of like I was talking about with like our accounts where you can automatically transfer a certain amount.
Yeah.
You can do that for there too. So you can say, I just want to transfer every month or every week $10 into that account.
Yeah.
So on top of the roundups. So that's another
easy way to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
All right, the final one. This is kind of a funny one. This is called the Pantry Challenge. I've never heard of it before, but I think it's kind of cute. It's basically where we all know groceries are like wild and they're not going to come down. So, I mean, I don't even know why we keep saying that, but they are, like, they're expensive. And I would say that's like probably one of a household's highest bills every month.
Yeah, I would say for sure.
It's kind of hard to save money. But the Pantry Challenge is basically you go through your pantry, your fridge, and you just put like a complete hold on going to the grocery store until you you use up all of the stuff in your house. And then you can also write down what you would have used or what you would have purchased at the grocery store, and then basically look at that money at the end of the 2 weeks, month, whatever it does. I don't know. It depends on how much you have in your pantry, in your refrigerator, but then you can see how much you saved. Might be $300. My goodness.
Well, yeah, think about how much groceries are. I spend over $200 every other week, not more than that, on groceries. And think about how much you waste in your groceries. I'm that person that will go to the grocery store, buy a bag of lettuce, and it will sit in my fridge until it goes bad. And then I end up cleaning my pantry out, my fridge out, and there's all of that waste that is just money. If you look at it, it's money that you wasted.
I literally cleaned my fridge out yesterday to get everything ready for Christmas, For whatever reason, I had like 5 jars of pickles, and they're all like, maybe like 1 or 2 pickles are out of it. But I was like, why do I keep buying pickle jars? Yes. I have so many pickles.
That is hilarious.
It was embarrassing. I literally threw out half of them.
Yep. Well, I like to do this challenge whenever I get ready to go on a vacation. So like I hate grocery shopping before I go on vacation, or maybe it's just out of town for the weekend, whatever it is. I hate buying groceries the week leading up to that. And so maybe that's your challenge every week before, instead of having to throw everything out in your fridge, like don't go to the grocery store, you do the pantry challenge, save some money. I think it's a good way without spending money to save.
Yeah. And I just feel like right now here where we live, it's cold out. Like I don't want to go to the grocery store. Like maybe I can just rummage through my house and and I actually am pretty good at like throwing some meals together, I will say. But yeah, cute little challenge.
There are apps out there too. I don't know any off the top of my head, but there are apps out there where you can enter ingredients.
I was going to say.
It will throw out some meals.
You could probably just get on ChatGPT and be like, this is what I'm working with. Like, give me a chef's meal. Hey, what's the show? What's that called?
Amazing.
Iron Chef, or no? When they like open the box and they've got to like make something out of
Iron
everything.
Chef.
I don't think that's
Master
right.
Chef?
Anyway,
Master Chef?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. You can just act like you're an Iron Chef or whatever.
Throw your ingredients in there.
Really
We've got a cabbage and some ice cream.
Crackers and peanut butter again for dinner.
That's hilarious. I don't know. Tom
and maybe some expired chips.
Some popcorn.
What do we have this week? Expired chips.
If you want to risk your life, you can have what's really far back in the fridge.
That's true too. So
I have to get over my fear of the stuff in the back of the fridge. Like I'm like,
Or like your freezer, you guys. When was the last time you cleaned your freezer out?
Yeah, but it's all frozen. It's fine, right?
Yeah, but I mean, have you found? I've gone to my
I've no room.
grandmother's house before, and I've gone to my
I've no room.
grandmother's house before, and I found freezer items in her freezer from like 10, 15 years ago.
Gosh, that's
I'm not
crazy.
kidding you, but when like doing this pantry challenge could really help some people.
I've gotten so
I'm
mad at
just
my
saying.
parents before because I'll be like, oh, sriracha, I need this for this random recipe. And turn around, it's 4 years old. And like you
Yes.
look at it and it's like just painted sriracha as like a faux. And like there's no sriracha in there. You're like, why do we have this?
Why do we
in
have
there?
this bottle? I think
Yeah.
that's like a joke at our house too. During the holidays, we'll go into Dad's pantry and we'll look through it and like, oh, this can of corn is from 1995. Dad, what are you saving this for? He's like, it's still good. There's no cracks. It's fine. Yeah. No.
There's no crack.
I got a pro tip and then we can wrap this episode up.
Okay.
So I love to buy fruit. I love fruit. But fruit goes bad like
Real
in
fast.
2 seconds. And like sometimes I'll buy a thing of strawberries and I won't touch them. They'll be behind some big Tupperware thing that I haven't cleaned out in 3 months. I forget it's there. Right before you think they're maybe going bad and you haven't ate them, throw them in the freezer and then you can put them in a smoothie.
Ashley, you're so
Brilliant.
healthy. That's so smart.
Well, you guys just made my heart drop because you both were staring at me for a second. I was like, am I not supposed to do that?
No, that's wonderful. I never think to do that. I
did
never
hear-
think to freeze
I
fruit
hate
like
throwing
that.
away produce because it's expensive.
It is
I
expensive.
don't
And
think
I'm
of
sure
that
there's like some vegetables you could save too, but that's the easiest thing. Just throw stuff in the freezer. That's what I've learned.
So smart.
That is smart.
Maybe I'll throw my bag of lettuce in there.
I want to do the bag of lettuce.
I did hear that if you put strawberries in like a mason jar, it lasts longer. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
true.
there's lots of tips
I'm
and
not done.
tricks. We should probably just eat them when we're supposed to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try the pantry challenge. I think. Which one are you guys doing?
Well, I definitely want to do the 52-week challenge.
The 52 week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's easy. And the Roundup challenge.
I'll probably do the Roundup.
Yeah.
Like I need to get on that. It seems like the easiest for me because if I don't see the money, I don't know I've missed it. And
Right.
that's the hardest thing with me is just like being intentional about setting money aside. It's a little hard at first, but if it just took it from me, robbed
Right.
me,
Right.
and then gave it back one day, I'd be fine with that. That's what I'm doing.
So good.
I think 2025 is going to be the year of saving money. Just got to be intentional about it, folks.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, listeners. We'll see you next week.
So, Jill, where do we go from here?
Be sure to check out our show notes for this episode, and also be sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our newsletter. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.